my name is Alex, I'm a patchwork nerd, and you should feel really special because I changed out of my pajama pants for the first time this weekend to make this video, even though you never see my pants. But you're welcome. I officially started draft 2 of my novel To Market this week, and there was so much that I had to rebuild about this story before I could jump into draft 2. There was world building, there was developing magic systems, there were plot holes that needed fixing, but one of the biggest things that I needed to address was my character development. And today I wanted to take a look at how I create characters, because I feel like I kind of do things a little oddly compared to most writers, and this is partially me wanting to just see if there's other writers out there who do what I do, and also me wanting to give you ideas if you need different ways to come up with how to best know your characters. So let's go. It feels like every time I go looking for advice on how to create characters and how to best develop characters, it's usually big long questionnaires where you're filling out what they look like and what their favorite color is and their education background and their family history and all of these things. And I know that that helps so many writers. I know that that is a great system and it exists for a reason because it helps a lot of people. For some reason, it doesn't really work for me. I just feel like I am rambling when I'm doing it, and I feel like I'm more just kind of like scratching the surface of my characters, but I don't really get a good sense of who they are as people. So if I want to best get to know my characters, what I have to do is actually engage in dialogue with my characters. And that is in 2 different ways. The first one is I write dialogue, like an actual scene of dialogue with my characters interacting and talking with each other. Or the second way is a little more odd, and that is where I actually act out what my characters sound and interact like. It's a little bizarre, but we'll go into a little more detail with each of those, and hopefully you'll better understand my technique and maybe it can help you. For me, I need to actually hear my characters to understand their personality, and oftentimes what I do is I just jump into writing the dialogue that my characters say. Dialogue is one of my favorite parts of writing, and I feel like it's actually one of my strongest abilities as a writer, and I just get a really good sense of my characters' interaction and their personality type and the flow of their speech and their likes and dislikes in how they conduct themselves in their dialogue, because I feel like people give away a lot about themselves even when they're not saying things. I feel like a lot of times characters will be hiding something in their speech, and I'll catch on to that and I'll better understand the things that they want to keep private, or I'll know what things they are very open about and the opinions that they want the world to know. It's a very quick way for me to get an understanding of who my characters are as people. The other thing I like to do is actually talk out the dialogue of my characters, and I think this really comes from the fact that I have been in theater for a very long time. My first play that I was in was when I was 7 years old. So I've been doing theater and plays and acting for a really long time. I've taken classes, I've been in performances, and I always feel like I have a better sense of who my character is when I start speaking as if I am them. It helps me get into their shoes, it helps me get into their headspace, and it helps me understand how they react with the situations put in front of them. So I'll think about a certain situation that's going to happen to them in the story, and I will start speaking on their behalf, or it's almost like I ask them a question in my head and I have them respond to it, or I present them with a certain situation and they have to explain what they're going to do or how they feel about it. So it's an interesting kind of bizarre little way of better getting into the head of your character by literally becoming their voice. If you don't want to fill out a huge big old character bio, or if you just find those aren't helping, I would definitely recommend trying this. I think it's important to always be experimenting, and if something's not working for you, don't feel like you're a failure as a writer, or you're not a good writer, or you're not a traditional writer. Don't feel that way if the system that is normally in place isn't working for you. Do this with things beyond just creating characters. If you're having troubles plotting, or if you're having troubles with world building or anything like that, try looking at it from a different way. Try going about it in a way that might not be the first thing people think about, but is something that you enjoy. For example, I really enjoy writing dialogue, so getting to know my characters through a dialogue makes a lot more sense for me and is a lot more fun for me, and I enjoy it a lot more than filling out a bio sheet. Think about the things that you enjoy as a writer and try to incorporate that into your process and how you create the stories that you are going to write. I kind of feel like I rambled a little bit today, but I hope you understand what I was going for with today's video, and I hope you enjoyed this really quick little look at a different way and an odd way that you can go about creating characters. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see from me in the future, feel free to leave that in a comment down below. Also, on your way out, please hit that happy little subscribe button. It really helps me out, and this channel has been growing kind of significantly in the last month, and I don't know where you guys are coming from. If you guys want to leave that in the comments below, like how you found me, I'm very curious. I would love to know how you made it to this channel and what made you subscribe. Otherwise, feel free to join me every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for Writer's Patch. That is the chat I host on Twitter, where we chat about various writing topics and we have a grand old time meeting other writers. Otherwise, you can also tweet me at patchworknerd. Feel free to give this video a like, and also if you want to help support me, click the link below to my Patreon page and learn more about how you can help me make all these videos. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, keep writing, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep encouraging each other. I'll see you next time. Toodles! My name is Alex, I'm a patchwork nerd, and you should be really... What was I gonna say?